Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I'm the Captain.
Welcome to Andertons, the world of musical taste, supremacy and goodness.
Bad taste.
But yeah, but I didn't say good taste, I said taste.
You did.
What would you do if you had 500 quid, Lee?
I would spend it on fast cars and hookers. How about you, Rob?
Well, I'd spend it on fast cars, but definitely not the other.
No, I wouldn't.
I was just wondering, what guitar would you buy from Andertons.co.uk or any good retail store in MI if you had 500 Imperial credits of the realm sterling?
Now, I must point out here, this is not about us going, this is the best guitar that you can buy for £500, because, as you guys well know, I don't like the word best. It's what you like. If you like it, you like the look of it, you like the feel of it, you like the sound of it, then that's the best one for you.
If you were treating yourself...
This is purely and simply what would Rob buy and what would I buy.
Yeah.
Now,
what would you treat yourself to, Lee?
Number one, can we please clarify this, because I don't know if we did clarify this.
Yeah.
There are Chapman guitars for sale on Andertons.
Yeah.
Inevitably, if we both go and pick one of those, people will just feel this video is utterly contrived. So if you do want to, either Chapman is banned from this video, or if you do pick one, you've got to have a really good reason for picking it.
Okay, I mean,
I think personally, I think I just wouldn't. Otherwise, I think if both of us pick one, it's like...
So I'm just going to tell you now, if I think the Chapman is the right guitar to buy, you know, I'm the founder and partner of the company, I'm going to pick a Chapman, I don't care. It's just going to be what I do. But you're probably right, both of us shouldn't do that.
I think it's just...
So are you exempt from picking a Chapman?
I think that's kind of what I'm asking, because I just feel bad in the sense of like, I want to be able to pick one because I want to be able to consider it as a good guitar for under £500. But then I don't want, you know, like 1,000 million people watching this to go, well, we would pick that one.
But we can't.
So I'm not going to pick one.
All right, but we can't both be exempt. This is difficult when you own a guitar company. But we can't both be exempt.
Fine.
So I'm going to allow myself to pick anything I want.
Quit that jibber jabber.
Quit that jibber jabber fool. Let's go buy some guitars. To begin with, I'd like to look at some Fenders. Or probably a Squire. So no. What I'm looking for is something that I don't already have, which is a beautiful kind of reddish coloured, maple-necked, dirty kind of Fendery Squire thing for about 500 quid. So maybe I'll find something if I'm lucky. Behind the camera is the very attractive and incredibly talented Peter Honora. He might give me a guiding hand in this particular quest because he's quite used to seeing the old Fender or two. Well, look, here's something that meets one of those criteria because it's red, but it's not a maple fingerboard, which is kind of my preferred touch wood feeling situation, but it doesn't have a price on it.
No, it's on sale that one at the moment.
And I know it's a Baja and it is on sale, but I don't know what the price is, so maybe...
$599.
Oh!
I think it is.
And we're not had any leeway from the original price taggage.
Oh.
We're gonna have to find out what the price is on that, because that's a bit of a shout. I think Lee would be quite surprised if I was to pick something like this, but I don't actually own anything really like this. Again, it's red, it's got the maple neckage that I'm after, and this Fender Mexican offset Geosonic MN in Torino red comes in at $465, 99.32, and it's really affordable. It's a bolt-on construction. It's got a nice thin neck, and comes with loads of tags so that you can tile them around your guitar and not be able to play it or show it off properly. But it looks really simplistic, it's easy to use, I could upgrade it if I want to, and it's in budget. Let's find out about that Baja. So, the Baja Tele, which would have been right up there on my choice, is unfortunately 99 English pounds too much money. And again, the fretboard isn't quite what I'm after, and that's a bit of a shame, but great guitar if you've got the budget. However, if I was looking in a different camp, something a little closer to home, one could do worse than to look in this area at this absolutely sick ML1 Traditional. Now this is just £429, giving me £20 left to buy a bunch of delicious guitar strings or a strap. And it's not red, but look at the beautiful colour. It's like butterscotch candy that's been burnt and then laid on again. I think it would be a tragedy if Rob Chapman Guitars didn't try this.
So, £500 burning a hole in my pocket. I'm torn really as to whether or not to treat this as what guitar would I buy to add to the collection I've already got, in which case I wouldn't buy a Strat or a Les Paul for £500 because I've already got a better one than that. Or do I just pretend that this is my one and only guitar that I can take to my desert island and I've got £500 to buy the best one that I can, or the best one for me anyway. The first one that I looked at was down here. And this is definitely sort of in the camp of something that I don't really have. So I do have a 335, I don't play it very often, but I do have a 335. And I do have, which I play even less often, the deeper bodied single cut Gretsch, more like this one. Over here, I have basically this exact guitar, but from like the previous range. So that's cool, and it gives me something. I can play it acoustically. I know I'll get some cool sounds out of it. I love the color. I don't have any green guitars, so that would be cool. So we might be going for this. Or the other one, if it was just a question of, look, go and buy a guitar that can be your, like, do a bit of everything. It's the one guitar that you'll ever need. You probably aren't going to look much further than a Strat. So let's go and have a look around here. Oh, I don't know. No, go on a Floyd Rose. There aren't any real Charvels. Like, I would look at like a hardtail Charvel or something, but there isn't anything for under £500. So I think what I'm going to end up with, I wonder if I'll be allowed to go £7 over budget. Hang on a second, let me just go and talk to the bloke that owns Anderton, see if he'll do me a discount. He said yes! So, where is just a regular Mexican? So after much deliberating and looking at what I could get in a Strat, which would either be a Mexican standard Strat, which is very slightly over my £500 budget, so I feel a bit bad about doing that, or a classic vibe Strat, which would be quite significantly under the £500 bracket. I've just decided that's too obvious. It's just boring. I've got Strats, they're amazing guitars, they do a bit of everything, but you know what? I'm going to go with that Gretsch that I saw first, because I don't know, I just like it, and I'm a sucker for guitars that I like. So, let's go. Monsieur Chapman.
Yes, Monsieur Captain Lee, qu'est-ce que c'est la question vous avez pour moi?
£500,
yes.
£500 to bring back the bacon. And what did you choose?
Well,
and why?
I don't eat meat, so no bacon was brought home for me. But bring on the comment hatred. I chose a Chapman ML1 traditional. Why? Because this best represented what I was after for the value, and I owned a guitar company.
Yes.
So I felt like it would be a silly thing if I didn't back my own team in my own corner.
Why though, being the interviewer that I am, you had a choice within the Chapman range of doing something that was, T-shaped or GF-shaped. Why did you go with the
because
ML1 traditional?
While we were in your store picking guitars, 5 of them were out being used by people that were trying to buy them, 2 of which I would have been interested in. One of them was a G shape and one of them was a T shape, and left hanging, sort of there just going, help me, pick me up and use me, was this.
Pick me up and use me.
Yeah. Which incidentally was the name of that jam, available on iTunes. I feel like this is almost the unsung hero of the Chapman line, because it's a really, really simple construction. We all know what it's kind of come from inspiration of. It's a maple-necked bolt-on ash body with an ash veneer, Alnico 5 single coils, and for the money, it's absolutely killer.
Yeah, and to be fair, I did say, I think in my video section, that if I was shopping for a one guitar to do everything, it was the last guitar, the only guitar you were ever allowed to have, I would have gone with a Strat style guitar. Maybe I'd have gone Fender, maybe I'd have gone Chapman, whatever, but I didn't go there. So it's irrelevant. But
Yeah.
I do think if you've got, you know, there's a reason why the 3 single coil, you know, double cut style guitar has been so overwhelmingly copied over the years, is because it's just to do everything, does a bit of everything, doesn't it?
And the reason this is so affordable is because Chapman guitars don't use distribution.
Yeah.
The retailers like Andertons here in the UK buy them directly from the factory. So Chapman saves 20-ish percent.
This is, I don't want to make this a Chapman advert, but it's the other reason why this guitar is so phenomenally good value, and this is nothing to do with Chapman, but that's just because the design that it's based on, you know, 2 bits of wood basically bolted together, is an incredibly efficient way of putting a guitar together.
It's efficiently, let's get some tones from this beautiful ML1 traditional from the standard range.
What's the serial number on that guitar, Rob? Because at some point, someone will own this.
This is IR17040608.
Catchy.
Yeah, I'll step it back one. In the middle position now, I have I've chappered this, which means I raised this one lower, this one, raised this one.
Right.
And middle position is quieter intentionally.
I never use the middle position on a Strat, apart from to use, you know, positions 2 and 4.
I do.
Always either like the fatness of the neck or the brightness of the bridge, and the middle ends up just being like, meh.
So, and then I've stepped it one more up. All the way down, really bright, really. Intentionally so, step on your filthy, filthy floor fodder. Now, can I, just before you jump on that green goddess, we're in a clean channel, this amplifier.
You are.
And I think it would be cool to hear it through the gain channel as well.
For sure.
So let's just step it to the gainage channel.
Voice 2.
And Rabia's going to tell me if this is too much volume.
Well demonstrated, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, there we are. So that's Rob's choice for under £500. And the cool thing is, as well, I think you've got enough change out of there to take you and your wife out for a nice slap-up dinner.
Well, I said to buy some strings and a strap earlier.
Yes, if you want to.
I cook all the food for my wife.
Good for you. Good for you.
What have you got then?
Well, I went a little bit off-piste because I decided to take my £500 and try and buy a guitar that I could add to my existing collection of guitars.
Right.
So obviously I've got Strats, I've got a Les Paul, I've got...
How many guitars do you own, Lee?
Not loads, but probably 10. So I've got 4 Strats, so that goes to show, that tells you that I like Strats. I've got a 335, a Les Paul, a Telecaster, another Gretsch Electromatic, but the bigger version of this, and a Captain.
Right.
They are my... have I done any other ones? Oh, no, 5 Strats. I apologise, 5 Strats. Of which I own a PRS 594. Mustn't forget that one. Thank you, Paul, for that beautiful gift. Now I've got... So I thought I'd take my £500 and try and buy something that I could add to that collection that did something that the other ones didn't already do. So this is the Gretsch. This is from the Streamliner series, which is their sort of most affordable range, and it is the G2622T. The T stands for the trem. You can get this without the trem if you want to. So I am using this on the floor with some unusual pedals actually, but I'm into them at the moment. So I have got a Layla Sunday Driver, which I'm using as a boost.
I really wish they'd call that the Leela. That would have been better.
I think that might even be the pronunciation. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Leela. And that is my buffer and boost, Sunday Driver buffer and boost. Then I'm using the Guru's Sexy Drive.
Sexy Drive!
For this sort of like blended clean distortion thing. And then I'm using a delay by GFI called the Clockwork Delay, which I really like too. But that's with nothing, that's just the amp. Now, I thought about this. There is something I always love about semi-acoustics, and that's
yeah.
You don't need to plug them in to get a sound. And it's just something gratifying. The Bigsby, I absolutely know, is not the most stable type of tremolo system in the world, but used correctly and gently, it's fine. I should turn this up so you can hear it. So the Gretsch basically has got kind of their sort of versions, if you like, of a Filtertron, which is always a slightly sort of honkier, humbucking sounding pickup. Then we've got this fairly unique to Gretsch set of controls here. So we've got a master volume control. We've got a volume control just for the neck pickup here. One for the bridge pickup. It's interesting, so they both still work in middle position. Anyway,
Weird one.
And then we've got one tone control. And I love the colour. I think that I think they call it drab green or something like that, but it's got that slightly sort of, ever since we saw the Chris Cornell, you know, God bless his soul, signature series guitar, which was the first time I'd seen this kind of colour on his signature Gibson, I just thought, oh man. It's very haunting sounding. It's, I guess, probably largely because of the Bigsby, it's a little bit more twangy sounding than a 335, and it's quite a lot lighter than a 335, I think, as well. So I wouldn't have said it's certainly not going to give you the versatility of tones that guitar had, but it's got, you know, it'll do a few bits and bobs. I mean, we've kind of done some of the warmer stuff, some of the... little bit more edge on it.
Have you got the sexy on?
No, sexy drive, it goes... So that's definitely got that kind of... You were going to come in there.
I was just going to jump in
and then,
right on you.
Well, just so people know, and the Layla thing just allows me to go... So, this gives me a little bit more of an actual boosty, juicy thing. So this was 433, I think.
Right.
So again, I've got change. Doesn't come with a case or anything like that. You know, most affordable guitars won't. Exception. But I love it. You know, I like the block inlays. I think it feels nice to play.
I think it suits you too, man.
I could sit and play that chord with this amplifier and this delay pedal, just like all the... Just wants to sustain, and I love it. So this, and look, I go back to what I said in the original clip when we introduced this. If you go into a guitar store and you go, I love the look of that guitar, it feels great to me, I like the sounds that it makes, and you know, perhaps there's some reassurance that the brand is good, or, you know, in terms of reliability and stuff like that. And all your friends go, I don't like it, I don't like it, I like it, but you like it, then that's the best guitar for you. Yeah. And so, you know, to a certain extent, what I'm really saying is completely ignore this video that Rob and I have just done.
Well, and also ignore it because I'm completely biased.
He's completely biased.
I am so biased. Yeah. It's got my name on the headstock. That's biased. You know what would be really cool though, Lee?
What?
Is if we swap guitars.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let me see if I can...
This is great. What do you want to play then?
I just want to see you play it for a second.
It's great. I mean, I'll put a bit of the drive on it as well. It's probably it's probably a bit bright sounding, this guitar, because I need to adjust the...
Very, very in the mix.
I'll turn it down. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Andertons Guitar YouTube channel. If you're a drummer or a keyboard player or interested in music technology, you might find one of our other channels interesting, and I'll put details of those in the description below. If you want to find out more about the products we've just featured, please click here. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt like this, please click here. If you want to watch another video on our guitar channel, click down here. And to subscribe to our guitar channel, click here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.